Alright, and welcome to episode 1 of Off the Battlefield. This is basically going to be the Smash UK podcast. It's a fortnightly thing. We're going to be going over tournament results, news, upcoming tournaments, hype, and all sorts of topics. My name is Skrull. I'm sponsored by Underworld Asylum, and I'm a melee Ice Climbers main, and I also play a bit of PM and Smash 4 on the side, but mostly melee. So I'm here with my co-host Lorenzo the Kind. So Lorenzo, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Lorenzo. I'm a Smash player from London. I play melee and PM about equal level. I'm not sponsored, but I do some of the hosting nowadays at Meltdown, which is one of the hubs for competitive Smash for melee and PM specifically in London, and I host fests regularly as well. So,
and our special guest today, of course, the ever so lovely GP from London. So, GP, if you want to introduce yourself again.
So you're going to introduce me wrong. I'm from Cambridge.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm bad at this.
But yeah, everyone listening to this will probably know me. Not to like feed my own ego or everything. I'm the owner of Smash UK. Hey. I'm the Smash manager for VWS, which is my sponsor, and also the sponsor of Fuzziness, Professor Pro, and Wills, which we will never let us forget about. But,
so 2 top players.
Yeah.
Shots.
Wow. Okay. Moving swiftly on.
Yeah. Let's please, God. Let's.
I'm a Project M Smash 4 player, although I'm more well known for my Brawl days as an Ike main. Yeah, so that's basically me. I'm the power-hungry owner of Smash UK.
Oh, nice. Right, gentlemen, shall we get into it then? So let's go to recent results of tournaments then. So, recently what we had, about 2 weeks ago now, I think, we had, up here in Newcastle, which is where I'm from, of course, our first ever national tournament, King of the North, which was kind of crazy considering how small our scene used to be like 7 months ago. Like I said, when we were streaming it, we were in some sweaty, dingy back room of some card game shop in Newcastle, and to be in this actual hotel suite and to have all these CRTs, all these players in one place, it was kind of nerve-wracking, like hoping to God that everything ran smoothly. But we had around nearly 40 entrants for each game. We had 39 entrants in Project M and 37 entrants in Melee. And results for those, I'll go through the top 3 because I think it'll be, take less time if I do that. So top 3 for PM, we had Shifting Shadows from Scotland coming in 3rd. We had Wills from Leicester coming in 2nd. And we had Ho For You coming in 1st. And that grand finals between Ho For You and Wills, kind of crazy. Because we don't really have any Pikachu mains up here. We don't really have any Pikachu players. So seeing someone like Ho For You just come in and be like, oh, guess what, I can footstool into this up B and just do all this crazy quick attack cancel.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Hmm?
He did the Thunder Jolt lock.
Oh, yeah. No, he didn't, actually. I think... Wait, the quick attack cancel? Yeah, he did a lot of that.
He loves doing that. I mean, if you're anyone who goes to Meltdown regularly and sees him play, he runs shop. He's a very, very strong player down in London.
Sorry, I mean I played him. I didn't find him all that hard.
Yeah, all right, Tom.
I mean, I have a 100% win record over him. I know it's only
really.
Played him?
Did you play him at Air?
No, I played him at Meltdown and 2-1.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was when you went on a tear. Thankfully, Prof was there to hold it down.
It was Kong who saved you from me, but
Kong is
only another brawler could take me down.
Yeah, to be fair, Hofu's a brawler as well, isn't he?
Yeah, Hofu's also a brawler. Anyway, getting back on topic.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out I've got to say to London for coming up and
London
doing some
travelled
work.
away just to be in Newcastle and just to take all our money and our medals.
Yeah, London did very well. Scotland, of course.
Shifting Shadows put in so much work in both games because, as I'm going to say in King of the North Melee, Top 3, we had Wills in 3rd, Jin in 2nd, and Shifting Shadows in 1st. Shifting Shadows put in so much work at King of the North. Like, he just steamed through his pools, got to win his finals in both games, actually, now that I think about it. Got knocked into losers in PM by Ho For You, and then knocked out by Wills. But in Melee, he just went on a tear. Like, the only person who really actually gave him a bit of trouble was Jin. And Jin... Like,
Jin to win.
Jin to win.
He's an amazing Falcon player, Shifting Shadows. I've not seen much of his. I've played his. What was he playing? Roy.
Yeah,
PM,
he's playing Roy.
That's very impressive. I've played as Roy a little bit at Air, and he was pretty good. He was pretty good, but like, I wouldn't expect him to steamroll his way to win his finals. He must have leveled up his Roy a bit since then. I think
because Roy really was his boy at this tournament. He went in like he was everywhere, especially like. And what was crazy to me watching him play was watching him adapt as well. He played one of our northern players, Deerbound, and Deerbound
Wolf player, huh?
Yeah, the Wolf player. He 3-stocks him in the first game, and then Josh just ran it back. And I think it was a combination of Brandon choking, being in his first big national tournament, and the fact that Josh was like, "Oh, this is what you're doing. Guess what? I'm going to punish you for every single thing you're doing." And it was it was crazy to watch how quickly he adapted to everything Brandon was doing.
I'm just gonna point out that Deerbound has been to a couple of other nationals. He went
to Air and he went to SVB. My mind just sort of faltered for a second. Thank you, Tom, for correcting me.
I remember seeing him at SVB. He was pretty good.
Yeah,
he's good. This was I played against him, and I didn't quite understand what Spaceys did at the time, and I was like, okay, so where's my shield gone?
Brandon loves his rush down. That is one thing that I hate whenever I play against him. And the problem is with Brandon as well, Deerbound, he is a naturally good player. Like when he started playing PM with us, because originally we were like a lot of PM players in one region, and because when we first met him, he was like, "Oh, I used to be a Brawl player. I used to be a Brawl Toon Link player." And we're like, "Okay," and he picked Toon Link, and he was just like, bomb out, run straight at you with a dash attack into a bomb. I was like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be ranging us out. What are you doing? And then he was like, oh, I'm going to pick Wolf now because that suits my style better. And now we're all terrified of him because
fair enough.
He has so many Energem combo setups. But yeah.
Nice, yeah. The spaces are a factor in PM for sure.
Oh yeah, especially Wolf, who is just insanely quick.
Proffer's gone on record, I think, saying he thinks Wolf is really is possibly the best. He says he thinks Wolf has the best offense of any of the spacies in this game.
I'd say so.
I think I'll disagree with that because Prof did used to main Wolf way back during 2.1.
Yeah, I've seen his Wolf.
Back in 2012 when we first started getting a Project M scene. When we had bi-weekly tournaments. He was a Wolf main. Fuzzy was a Lucario main, and Jolteon was an Ike main.
Wow.
Really?
That's some knowledge for you. Because in 2.1, Ike was broken.
Really?
Yes.
Do you miss those days, Tom?
I hate Ike in PM. He doesn't feel like Ike.
Aww.
Oh, do you not like Ike then? No,
like Ike, not in PM. Anyway, because you guys have actually not written down in your notes the results for the third Smash game that was at King of the North, which was
Smash 4.
Yeah, the thing was, right, about Smash 4, the main problem we had was every time, because the problem we had was that we started an hour late because of the Midlands lot. Like, they were like, oh yeah, I'll be there in half an hour. And then one of the Midlands drivers, can't remember who it is, I'm not going to put him on blast because I don't remember who it was, drove, instead of going up the M1, instead decided, oh, I'm going to drive through Leeds, and then ended up going into, I can't remember, but they ended up being an hour late, so it was like, okay, everything is postponed. And then we made the mistake of running 3-stock 8-minute Smash 4, which took so long, even just to get to top 3. So then we...
tournament, because I swear I told them don't do that, because we did that at mine, and oh my god.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, they still did it, and it was just so dumb.
Regardless, I'm going to give out the results, because VWS... in third place we had TFU.
Hey, Northerner! Woo!
Second place we had Jin, for Jin to win. And in first place we had VWS Wills.
Yes, still king. Yes, still king of England with the Smash 3D.
The monopoly on the Smash UK UK community because we've got the best melee player in Fuzzy, we've got the best PM player in Prof, and as much as I'm gonna take that title off him at Sodi,
it doesn't matter. It's VWS either way, isn't it?
Yep. We've got the best Smash 3DS player in Wills at the moment.
Who does he play in Smash 4?
He plays Captain Falcon, who's
I'm not surprised.
actually a decent character again.
Yeah, but we also what happened versus Leffen, didn't we?
Oh, he got bodied. Yeah.
You know, this I actually didn't. But I mean, I'm fairly sure. I'm just going to make the assumption that Leffen bodied the poor man.
Yeah, but Leffen talked a lot of trash as well, apparently.
Oh God, I hate. No, I watched it, and in grand finals, Wills won 3-0 and reset the bracket, and then Leffen just destroyed him. Leffen went in, especially with Diddy as well, which was horrible. Like, Jesus, it was awful.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, let's move on. So, do you want to talk about Project Meltdown then?
Yeah, Project Meltdown. I mean, the Meltdown scene has sort of ebbed. I mean, in terms of players, like we're probably, I mean, as big as we've. It's ebbed and flowed a bit. Like, we've had very large tournaments there before. We've had 40-man brackets there previously, and we've got a nice sort of dedicated community who come every week, and we've gotten to the idea of basically holding monthly tournaments for each game because it's basically feasible since we have a limited number of setups to run one tournament or another, one game or another on a specific night. So the idea is to run one each a month. So to start that off, last week we had the first PM tournament, Project Meltdown. Which was very successful. It ran on time, and
good.
Yeah, always good. Double in bracket. It was, and yeah, I mean, in terms of results, if we do top three, Decker was third. Now, shout outs to Decker. Decker is an American player. He said he was sort of out, he was part of the sort of New York, but did a lot of his playing in Connecticut. Samus, very strong. He beat quite a lot of us, made us very salty, made Jelly especially salty. Shouts to Jelly with that fourth
Jelly
place.
plays fourth. Wow, okay.
Yeah, second was Ho for You, fresh off of his title of King of the North.
He still got his medal. He still got
his medal. They can't take that away from him. And first was Luigi Mitsu.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know, right? Mitsu is. I mean,
sorry, I'm just going to interject here a little thing about Luigi Mitsu. What that happened well, I've got two things to say about it. First one, this season of our thing, which those of you who haven't been following might know, but we've created the Luigi Mitsu rule.
Yeah.
Named after this particular player because he is good at every Smash game.
I've not heard of this.
This isn't such a problem. This isn't such a big problem. The problem is he always enters all of the games.
So he's not available to participate in all of them necessarily.
Yeah. And, just to make it worse, there are two more points on top of this. He plays Wario or Peach, or generally very campy defensive characters when he plays.
That's his style as well.
His games go close to time. I mean, least defensive in Project M, and his games still go 6 minutes roughly each time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he is prone to running off and assuming that because I haven't shouted him instantly, he has time to go and spend half an hour getting food.
Yeah, he's...
So we had to implement the Luigi Mitsu rule, which Wills hates me for, where a player at a national where there's a lot of events going on is limited to a certain number of events that they can enter.
Oh damn!
Yeah, and I respect this rule because I've seen him where was it? I think it was at it might have been at Smash and Dash even, where basically your man has made bracket in I think all 3 games, and he's sitting in the middle of the room eating some cereal while GP is
Yep, I'm going absolutely spare at him because he is holding up by about an hour.
Oh, that's amazing.
Bit long. I am literally begging people. In fact, as much as I like Adam because I've known him for a long time. Sorry, Adam's Luigi Mitsu. I was literally begging this Canadian guy who was over at the time to please just knock him out fast out of melee so he would stop holding everything up.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what. Tom has always been quite insistent that one of the reasons we should all level up is so we can beat him out of bracket quicker.
Yes, that is one of the reasons. The same goes for Wills, but at least Wills plays aggressive.
Yeah, no, Captain Falcon matches don't take quite as long. Adam's style is tenacious.
Very annoying for me when I play against him.
Yeah, he plays. I've never seen him as a very stylish player. He just plays to win. And
plays it safe.
Well, he does what he needs to win.
Plays it too safe.
Whatever that can.
Plays like a conventional brawler.
Yeah, brawl background.
Which is what I play as well. The catch is I play a much more read-intensive game because that's kind of what my character has to do. However, his characters are literally play as safe as you humanly can. You have the better mobility options, therefore you can afford to be like that. Which is why he plays Wario.
I've got a story about Luigi Mitsu, actually, now that I think about it. Because it was at Air. I remember this. I wasn't at Air, unfortunately. I would have loved to have been there, but I remember DCJ telling me this. Because I was looking at the challenge brackets, and I was like, oh, in Melee, DCJ is supposed to be teaming with Luigi Mitsu. And I was like, why didn't you win any games? And then DCJ told me, he went up to Luigi Mitsu and said, oh, we're supposed to be teaming in Melee. The first thing Luigi Mitsu says to him is, who are you? Like, they were signed up to enter Melee doubles, and Luigi Mitsu had no clue who Dale was.
The same thing pretty much happened at SDS 5, where in PM doubles, I team with Gelm. Shouts to Gelm with that Mewtwo, that top 8 at SDS 5. Basically, he and I teamed, and we played in losers. We played Shadowman X5. Shouts to him, and a guy called Hammerspam, and Hammerspam wasn't supposed to be teaming with Shadowman. It was supposed to be Mitsu, but Mitsu turned up an hour or so late. Apparently, he got lost.
Yes.
And we beat them. We shouldn't have as well. Like there's more of a story there. But basically, like he took it very well, Shadowman, because he got a bit shafted, really. To be honest, he's a good player. But hey, anyway, I mean. From that, basically, I mean, if I go back to Project Meltdown quickly, like we had very strong competition. If I look at my top 8, I can see, we had Bowie did quite well as well, and their shouts to Roshi as well. Lucas Main, also an old Brawl player. I think he played Ices in Brawl. Young kid, pretty good, and Mr. BAP, of course. Yeah. Shouts to him.
The prime stream monster of the UK, Scorpion Master 32.
BAP. I've much loved this man. He is ridiculous. I don't know how he does it, how he plays, but he can play anyone and go in and body. It's ridiculous.
Well, so, if you say so.
Yeah, that's right.
BAP, I love you, but you also got to mention Sergeant Snuggles, who
Sergeant Snuggles,
who stepped up quite a lot at Air and seems to have done, which is then like quieting down a little bit again. But
I think both of them have are like they're giant killers. You know what I mean? Like Sarge beat Jolteon in pools at SDS 5. And I mean, BAP's now, he's beaten Alpha Dash, he's beaten Wills in tournament. So and also Sarge also who did he beat? I think he beat Jelly at Project Meltdown. So
placing lower than him anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what happened to SDS as well. Like he qualified first in pools after beating Jolteon. He tore it up and then went 0-2 in bracket. So
yeah,
you just got to
get so shifting on to the South Coast Regionals, which is Smashdown South Mini.
Yeah, basically.
So let's have a look at those results then. So Smash 4, I think we can pretty much gloss over because Candy was there and he placed 3rd. Okay.
You got Batch as well. Batches like helped with a lot of See, I actually recognise all of these names because of how much I've had to do the coin leaderboards. But
Hylian Reaper is a name I recognise. He took first, and
Hylian Reaper. I'm sure I've heard that name as well, but I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't recall where from.
I believe him and Frenzy are Bristol players as well as.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay.
So the Midlands did pretty well at that tournament then, huh?
Hmm.
Yeah, good on them.
Yeah.
And now you have the most predictable result ever. Well,
VW.
Sorry, I'm taking your job by reading out the result.
Go for it. This is what you're here for. You're our special
Mate,
guest. Go for it.
But with the South Coast Regionals for Project M and Melee, you have VWS's own Professor Pro.
You don't have to put so much emphasis on it. Is what we're saying.
I do.
Please,
I'm
he does.
Announcer. This is what I do.
Fair.
Henry,
So-
this
Professor Pro taking first in both events to the surprise of no one.
yeah.
But
Shouts to the South Coast themselves, the Southampton lot, who managed to hold down that top 3 places, top 5 places. In
And
fact.
managed to pick up the scraps after took the first place.
Yeah, he took all their money.
But my man R23, my co-coin organizer guy.
Yeah. No. I mean, big shouts to R23. He's done a lot of tournament organising, and has had a massive positive effect on the scene. And he is a very, very good player considering how short a time he's been playing for.
yeah.
He's getting consistent. I mean, okay, this is a smaller tournament than all, but no, he's getting consistent. Top 3, top 5 placings in tournaments now, and that's a really big ask considering what he's been playing about a year or something. Like that's We've got some we've had a lot of new talent emerging in the scene very recently. I mean, I'm a very green player myself, sadly, but I'm not among those who've really stepped up. I mean, I'm talking players like Jin, players like R23, who've really not been in the scene very long, but have basically come in and just impacted massively.
We have a lot of sleepers in Cambridge as well at the moment. You remember Madman 3?
Madman 3, yes.
Who took 13 stocks?
I think it might have been no, it was actually, and they were legit stocks as well. I mean, basically, it's Madman 3. Like when I do fests at my house, Lorenzo's House of Hype. Quick plug.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, we always run a crew battle, generally PM, because it's PM works with my stream setup better, and. The one time Madman 3's come, he set a pretty solid record for a huge streak with his Donkey Kong, because none of us, those who went up against him really didn't quite know what to do against DK, and he got so many what is it, sort of cargo throw up into forward air stuff. I mean, he wrecked everybody.
Yeah. See, he's gone down there and just kind of wrecked really badly. Now this sounds like I'm complimenting myself in a sense, but I played a lot with him, and when I first started playing with him, he had the ultimate flowchart of approach with Nair, jab their shield, and then try and grab it if they continue to shield, grab them, cargo throw, forward air. That was literally his flowchart, and he did that every time, and it became very easy to beat him. And to his credit, he listened to advice I had to give him, which was stop being so predictable, mix it up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're pretty good.
Yeah, we have people like that up here as well. Our scene is very, very, very new. So we've still got people, coming out of the woodwork, like myself, for example. Everybody said, I'm not gonna, predict, but I remember someone saying to me, "You're gonna drown in pools and get sent back to the commentator's desk where you belong." And I was like, "Right, I'm gonna prove you wrong then." Got out of pools and placed 9th, only because I got a bye, but I'm still taking it.
I respect that.
I got joint 9th, and that's kind of silenced a few critics. But what was funny about that, about King of the North as a whole, especially, was that people were like, "Oh, Midland's going to come up." I remember Ed especially saying, "Midland's going to come up and destroy everyone. No Northeasterners are going to be top 8, no, top 16. Sorry." And then we had 4 Northeasterners in top 16, with TFU in top 8, which was great. But TFU is our best melee player, and he would be even better if he stopped playing WoW, like I bet he's doing right now, and just actually practice his tech skill. He'd be so much better. but he isn't. He's playing WoW right now, probably.
See, if you're listening to this, it is 8:20 on Monday. When
Yep.
you hit, so if you are playing WoW at that time, then I'm afraid you're going to owe this guy a pint.
Yeah, do. Please, God.
Shots fired. Shots
And
fired.
what's even worse about it was, at King of the North, he was in my pool, and I've never, like, in friendlies, he's absolute garbage. Like, I can beat him consistently in friendlies, but when it comes to tournament, when it actually matters, he will try his arse off. And in tournament, in my pool, I was so close to beating him. It came down to last stock, last game, and then Fox's up smash happened, and I was very sad, and I was like, God, I was so close. But
It's just the move that keeps on giving, really.
Absolutely.
except to the person playing against it.
Yeah.
So
No, it gives him some soul.
yeah, I can taste it now. Right. So let's move on to some upcoming tournaments then. So what have we got coming up? We've got Meltdown Circuit for Melee. So Lorenzo, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, now we're getting to the stage, as I've said, where we're trying to run these tournaments regularly. Possibly getting them as part of the sort of larger whole, possibly with some coins, some rating points, maybe. But moreover, I'm gonna at least I'm gonna get a prize pot involved. That's definitely going to be happening because
That's necessary for you to continue gaining coins, I'm afraid.
yeah, absolutely. So, and I mean, I think it's a very good idea as well because it's promoting the level of it's promoting the local competition to level up more because there's going to be money on the line. That's more interesting, and also it should be doing some more to help out Meltdown. Shouts to Meltdown. They give us a free venue every week. They're really great guys there, and we owe them a lot. So I'm looking for quick plug. It's next Wednesday night, so November the 5th, starting at 7:00. There's an event page on the Smash UK Facebook page that's been posted on the Smash UK Facebook page, and I'm looking for as many entrants as possible. Like, there's definitely some strong melee competition at Meltdown, and I'd like to see some good matches. So everyone, please get down there, and we should have a good night.
All right, cool.
And if I move on from there, of course, that Saturday and Sunday there are two major tournaments happening. The first is another London tournament, Smash or DI 3, which is going to be big. I'm really looking forward to Smash or DI 3.
I'm so sad I can't come to Smash or DI 3. I'm so upset that I really can't go, but it's just, money and stuff, and I'm actually in the middle of school right now, but I wish I could come. Like, even if it was just to commentate, I would have loved to have gone. But I think we've got some. I think people from the north are going. I think DCJ is going. I think he's confirmed for that. I think, best Yoshi in the UK confirmed.
Only Yoshi in the UK.
Yeah, fair.
Much.
Fair enough. But I'm not too sure about who else is going to Smash or DI. But yeah, but that's pretty fierce.
Everyone's going. I mean, VWS are all going, aren't they?
Yeah.
As far as I know, yeah, I'm going. I have a recently confirmed press-up money match.
Yep. Oh,
Shouts
is that with
Miko?
Oh, shouts to Miko.
Miko money, or should I call him Miko no money? This is the fact on the line.
Yeah.
I have a money match with him, and because I've already played him in 2 money matches before, and they've not even been 3-2s. They've been best of 5s, and one was a 3-0 and one was a 3-1.
This is Melee.
Yeah, this is Melee. This is his main game and my last game.
Oh my god. That is.
Now we've been making Zero Fundamentals jokes. Who do you think they should be directed towards? But
okay.
But no, he's complained and John's that Marth is the reason I'm winning. So therefore, although heir to the throne, I challenged him to a press-up money match, which is the wrestler's forfeit, which is where you get 3 press-ups at any given time. From the winner can demand press-ups at any time from the loser, and the loser has to say, "I'm the winner's bitch," at the apex of the press-up. And I want us to become a thing because they're hilarious.
That sounds hysterical. Yo.
And because he was complaining about Muff, I decided I was going to go Game and Watch in Melee.
I remember you telling me about this. A while ago, that you were switching to Game and Watch for Ultimate Troll.
However, I've stopped playing Game Watch. It's not fun anymore, so I'm going Sheik instead.
Oh, okay.
I'm still going to destroy him.
That's a solid pick. As I was saying to Tom earlier off the record, but I'll say it now. Like, he knows how to tech chase. Tom, you know how to tech chase very well, and if you can down throw tech chase, which your Meta Knight has proven time and time again is you find very easy, then Sheik shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, yep. Sheik's pretty good. Sheik is like, you know, nowadays when Sheik has become less sort of prominent in the competitive scene, like I can think of a few Sheik mains, but they're like mainstay Sheik mains in the world spectrum, as opposed to like, you know, some of the lower names. Like even in our scene we have like one Sheik main, but like she sort of faded into the background, but she's still a very strong character, and especially with like tech chases and stuff, you know. And Miko plays spaces, so
yeah. In the south there are a fair few good Sheiks actually. I mean, obviously,
R23. No, R23 plays Falco. No,
R23 is a Sheik.
Okay.
Jolteon plays Sheik.
Yeah, Jolteon plays Sheik as well. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I mean, any of the top 5 can play a decent Sheik easily. We've got, of course, like Silicon Carnage as well, who's an up and coming player. He plays a very good Sheik. I'm trying to think who else, but there are a fair few. Sheik's quite accessible.
Yeah.
So and of course Biartarog as well. Actually, shouts to Mr. Vincent Tam, who's also a very
Oh yeah, Biartarog.
Well-known Sheik player.
Biartarog style. She can be played a variety of ways, from the R23 method to the Biartarog method. Great character. I've always thought I should probably have a go with her, really, but hey.
But regardless, back to Sodi.
Yes.
That was my planning, my confirmation on going to Sodi. There's going to be a lot of people there, I reckon.
Yeah.
Should be very interesting. Inertia is a very good host.
He's a brilliant host, yeah.
Put that in writing, by the way. It's very rare I say that about anyone other than myself.
And no, he's a really good host. Like,
he's on point with hosting. So I expect it to be a good event. So if you listening to this and you were on the fence about going, go to it, because it's on the weekend. Obviously, it's a solid event. We've got 3 Smash games there. We've got Melee, PM, and we've got PM doubles as well. But we've also got Smash 4.
Oh.
So I look forward to seeing how this tournament goes down.
Alright, so let's move on to Smash Beyond the Wall 2 in Scotland. Wow, a Scottish tournament. So, I'm not too sure about this one, because I know there are going to be some really strong Scottish players there, but I'm not too sure whether Shifting Shadows is going. I'm not sure whether he deconfirmed himself for it, but I know for a fact that we're going to have some Northerners going up there, like DCJ's going up, Sui is going up. I'm not too sure about anyone else, though. Like, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head who's going to that. But it should be good, because from what I've heard, the TO who's organising Smash Beyond the Wall is a very, very competent TO, knows what he's doing. But I don't know whether you guys have heard otherwise.
I don't actually know who the TO for that is.
I've completely forgotten, actually, off the top of my head. I can't remember.
I believe it's Alan, actually. But
is it Anon? Anon, I think, saw...
Alan Cameron.
Oh, right.
I believe that's his name. I probably got it wrong, knowing me, but he seems to know what he's doing, so should be a good event.
Yeah. So if you're in the Scotland area, go to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And further along, I mean, those are the 3 tournaments. The next time we do this podcast, all those will happen. So we'll have some more results to go over and so on. Further down the line, if we look, I mean, in the near distant future, we got Spot Dodge in Bristol. That's on November 30th, which is looking pretty good. I mean, I may see if I can get up to that, although I'm not sure about it yet. If I could make it, but that's looking to be pretty serious as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I would assume that How To and Jin are going to be there. I assume because it's in Bristol.
We haven't yet got much info on it. It's only recently been announced.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, it's quite fun.
Keep on the lookout for that, though. Smash UK, keep on the lookout for it.
Yeah.
So, let's go into some other news, like Beast 5 and the hype behind that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was going to say in the further off future, in the beginning of next year, Beast 5.
Yes.
It's going to
January
be
9th through the 11th of 2015 in Gothenburg, Sweden.
which is going to be massive.
Yeah, I'm going to actually see if I can get to that because I really want to go to that.
Everyone wants to go to that.
Yeah, so do I even, and I'm not a huge fan of like having to travel, particularly in places where I can't speak the language.
It won't matter. We can all speak one language, and that language is Smash.
Hey.
So.
And we can all talk to Armada and get him to translate. I don't know. But Beast 5, so we know for a fact, because it's a Sweden tournament, we can only assume that Armada and Leffen are going, and I think they've both been confirmed for it, right?
Absolutely, certainly Armada, because he's been on the Smash UK page, like hyping it up.
Oh yeah, he has, hasn't he? Yeah, I forgot about that. But who else is going? I'm pretty sure I heard some American players were going.
Well, D1's going, which is going to be amazing.
Well, in that case,
yeah. I mean, I was on a stream chat recently. I can't remember where it was. I think it was VG Bootcamp, and Mango was in the chat, and someone was saying, "Mango, you're going to Beast?" And he's like, "Well, I'm not sure yet, but I think there's some tentatives from like from the top Americans. I think we'll see probably a couple of them at least. There are a lot of us from the UK who are planning on going though.
Yeah,
VWS is going. Yep.
Yeah.
Believe the important ones are going.
Well, Prof's going.
Prof is confirmed, so that's one half. I mean 1/3.
Fuzzy?
Fuzzy is going to be in AGDQ, isn't he?
I doubt Fuzzy. I'm fairly sure Fuzzy's going to go.
I remember in a stream chat of Fuzzy's that I was in, he said he was going to go to AGDQ, which is at the same sort of time.
See, Fuzzy is also a speedrunner, so...
Yes.
That makes sense. Of course.
The thing... I mean, I probably won't be going to Beast, to be honest.
Bish.
I want to, but I can't. But the thing is, Apex is the weekend afterwards.
Oh, God, is it really?
I would rather go to Apex, to be totally honest.
It's a more expensive flight, Tom.
Oh, tell me about it. I've done it 3 times, and I've done it the past 3 years. I ran Project M there last year.
Really? You helped TO?
I was the TO along with Jay Caesar.
Wait, so hang on, you TO'd Armada his way to victory in PM?
Yes.
Right, that is some people...
Project M was the only one that finished on time. Strange how that works, isn't it?
Yo. Apex stuff, where you at?
So yeah, of course, Apex is coming up, but I mean, the majority of hype that the UK scene has been feeling at the moment is just like we want a huge, because it's a much more like economically feasible for a lot of people to go to Beast since
most definitely.
So it's because we can get cheap flights and so on. So a lot of players are looking to go. I for one, I think I'm probably going to go like the Midlands being like mustered by like Ed and by Carlton Gaunt, Blood Bowler as well, and
Ed and Blood Bowler are two of the people who motivate the Midland scene to do anything. Otherwise, they just would not leave their region.
Yeah. Also,
I'm fairly sure the Midlands are like the thing with the Midlands. From what I've been when I've been dealing with them over the past season. Like the past year or so, they're a very solitary community. Like the rest of the communities seem to all be meshed with each other, but Midlands seem to have literally cultivated and developed separately.
Yeah.
It feels like you are a Midlands player, or you are from outside of Midlands to them. That's how it appears, and
in a sense, that's good.
It's a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah, and I think in a sense it's good and it's bad because it's good because you can create this sense of community, and you're opening up these like different channels to each other. But the main problem is when it comes to going outside of the region, you're not gonna be But I didn't find that at KOTN when people came up from the Midlands to KOTN, they blended well. Everyone seemed
they do, yeah.
Everyone seemed fine and happy.
That's what I found interesting about them. I know we're kind of like divulging from the main point.
No, it's fine. We're talking about the scene as a whole.
The way the Midlands scene operate is different from the way the rest of the scenes operate. I mean, they're much more socially geared towards things. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I get what you mean.
The way they prioritize their events is different from the rest of us. I think. Theirs is more around the social and fun aspect, whereas most of the other tournaments literally put finishing the tournament on time and efficiently above everything else.
Yeah.
It provides a much different atmosphere.
No, sure. I mean, I for one as a TO have been get quite strict about just use of setups and so on. Like while the tournament's happening, you can't. In my opinion, no one should be playing friendlies if there's a setup free.
Yeah, I get what you mean on that front, because it just it takes away time and effort and.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you have people playing friendlies on setups when those setups could be being used for tournament games, then your tournament's going to run behind.
Yeah, and a segue off of that is what we're going to talk about next is Smash 4 and the idea of, well, I guess the competitive scene behind it, because...
Here we go, we're on to my topic now.
I can literally hear you rubbing your hands in anticipation, Tom. The main problem, well, not problem, I think it's great that we have a new Smash game. I'm very open to all the Smash games. I may not play all of them. Like 64, I'm pretty much all I know is Isaiah in 64. Brawl, I know that there's a lot of chain grabs, and that would probably be my game to win, if anything, because I love chain grabs, being a wobbler and all that. But the main problem I've heard from people is that it's weird. And I can see what they mean, because I own it myself, and I've played it extensively now. But what I've realised is... What I've realised I've got to adjust to is the fact that it's a new Smash game. It's not like 64, it's not like Melee, it's not like Brawl. It is an entirely new game, which has to be taken in an entirely different route. But when I play it, I just can't get into it. It's fun. I can admit that it's fun, but I just can't take it competitively. So I'm wondering what you guys think on that.
I'm going to let you go first, Lorenzo, because I am going to start speaking an essay on this. So you might want to get in.
All right, go for it. I've played. I mean, I don't own a 3DS. I'll be brutally honest. So the only times I've played it are basically when people have been at my fests with it, and I've had a little go on it here or there. It's pretty fun. Yeah, I mean, I've played a little bit of I haven't really played any teams. I played some singles. I played some singles with Hakeem, Morgera, and I hold some I feel like some credit goes to me for him then beating Soul 64 at I think there was a meetup tournament soon afterwards, because basically I was playing Greninja and a little bit of Shulk because I wanted to play Shulk, but Shulk is slow as hell, or at least as far as I can see. But I was playing some Greninja and just side B'ing a lot, and it seemed to work. I was just like, I can go over there. It's brilliant. I've got a teleport, and then it hits you and you die. And so I was just, I wasn't taking it very seriously, but I think he must have woken up a bit, because he seems to take the game quite seriously as well. But from what I've played of it, I haven't played it enough to hold to have like a very formulated opinion. But it seems like fun. And if I owned it, if I had the hardware to play it, I probably would play it quite a bit, but I just don't. So, I have respect for those who want to play it, because it looks like a fun game. It looks like it's a game that could feasibly be taken. It's got a competitive scene by now, so good on it. And that should hopefully grow exponentially when the Wii U version comes out very soon. So yeah, I mean, if we can look past all of the party things that they're throwing into it and actually concentrate on it as being a somewhat competitive game, then yeah, great. It's great to have a new Smash game.
All right,
Whatever.
Tom.
Okay.
Stretching for it.
I actually am. Okay, this game in like short terms is competitively viable. Right now, it doesn't appear it, and a lot of people are literally dismissing it on the spot. There are a lot of people who are dismissing it for the fact that it is not like Melee. It does not move the same way as Melee, and it certainly does not move the same way as Melee, I can tell you that much. It doesn't handle the same way. It is the way the physics are all a bit different from Melee, and because of that, a lot of people are saying it's not worth playing. It's not worth trying to play competitively because it's not like Melee. I can guarantee you, anyone who says that is not a good player. I will tell you that now. Anyone who says that...
That's big talk.
If someone says... If someone says it's they don't like it, then there might be a good player, and they might just not be their thing. That's fine. If someone flat out says it's not competitively viable, then they're bad.
Skrull confirmed good player or slightly good player because he said he doesn't like it. Cool.
Oh,
Right.
People who like it can be bad as well.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say like,
But people who are dismissing it, like that is like a surefire way of telling if someone is just not good. I mean, like I said, like, I mean, Armada says it's not his sort of game. I'm not going to call him a bad player. He just doesn't like it. The problem with the game at the moment is I think in the long run, 3 stock 8 minutes is the correct way of going about it.
Right.
But at this exact point in time, the game feels the closest to Brawl, which is typically the most defensive of the Smash games. The reason it feels like this is because people have not gotten used to the movement options yet. And on the 3DS, trying to do the movement options properly is hard.
It is satanic, is what it is. Like trying to do some sort of like Brawl dash dancing.
it's also going to probably end up with you breaking your machine, yeah.
Exactly. There has been a bunch of things found which frankly requires the C stick to be able to use it properly.
Oh yeah.
There's the perfect pivot, which is essentially a wave dash, which works like a wave dash, but you have to get it so on point that if you mess it up, you get running around. You basically get the dash turnaround animation. There's pivot cancelling, which is where you do the turnaround animation, and at the moment you can only cancel it with side B. Up B, up smash. The thing is with the up B and up smash, that's just jump cancelled, so it doesn't really change anything. You can only cancel the turnaround with forward tilt, forward smash, and side B, essentially. Right. And that's making a lot of different characters more viable. For example, Wii Fit Trainer has a forward tilt that hits behind her. And the back end of her forward tilt is like Kirby's up tilt.
Okay. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, because I mean, if you go look at the animation, she does some weird pose where she lifts her leg up behind her and
Oh yeah. The sort of the lunge thing. Yeah.
It's got hitbox on both sides, but it's a forward tilt. Because of this pivot cancelling thing, you run at someone and then you do a forward tilt in the other direction from the way you are running, which essentially means you get to approach with Kirby's up tilt.
That's pretty huge.
Damn.
Yeah, and this is just this is pretty early game stuff. That was the original reason I wanted to main Wii Fit Trainer before I'd even played the E3 version, because I knew this was a thing. There's a whole bunch of different movement options which are gone on. There is something akin to crouch cancelling. It's not the same as it was in Melee, but it works similar, where you can run up to someone, and this is working really well with Sonic. I'm just saying because I play Sonic, but he's my main. You can run up to someone, literally down. You can run down to run away.
Wow.
Wait, what?
You can't down to right away. You will get a very short stopping animation.
Yo, okay.
But it's almost like what you would do in Melee, where if you were Marth, you would run up to them, down tilt, and then run away again.
Damn.
It's very for that. The problem with the game at the moment is that it's slow, which is understandable. It's going to be slow and defensive because, let's be honest, if you're going to compare, say, we're going to bring it into Melee terms for you guys. You've got Samus versus Fox. If you were given only an hour, and you literally only played the game for an hour, who's going to be easier to play?
The Samus.
The Samus going to be able to spam projectiles all day long.
And have a great recovery.
And have a good. So I'm not thinking so much about that. I'm thinking about the on-stage neutral game. You can stand away and play defensive and spammy and campy, and people haven't got used to roll timing yet as well. Rolls have been improved a lot. They're still very punishable. I'm not having so much of a problem with them, but a lot of people are struggling to deal with rolls. But you can't play frame perfect yet because no one knows any of the frames.
That's true.
No one's used to the control scheme really yet. The lack of C-stick is really screwing me up. So playing defensive is at this early stage is going to be a lot easier. People haven't explored the whole game yet, so I mean, it's more competitively viable than Brawl, that's for sure. And Brawl lasted for 6 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Until last year, it had a bigger community than any of the others than Melee. Until Melee got the huge Evo boost, like Brawl had the highest attendance of any Smash game.
True.
So I think it's definitely going to be competitively viable. I see it getting a lot faster and a lot more interesting once it hits the Wii U.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Wii U version. Like,
For a lot
I
of
think the main problem for me right now is movement. Like, I think I've got to agree with you there. Like 3DS, I just can't hack it. Like my hands, they just can't do it.
I'm using Sonic, and his movement options are largely similar to what they were in Brawl. And I played him a bit in Brawl.
Fair enough then.
He's sorry.
Fair enough. I was just saying, yeah, because like
He's a very fast character, as you would expect, because he's Sonic. And I think a lot of characters will have a lot of solid movement options. I can't wait to see what happens on the Wii U when we have a C-stick to use, because that's going to introduce a lot more things to the game.
yeah, and as a scumbag Ice Climber's main who misses his babies very much, and misses the infinites that came along with them, I'm just hoping that Rosalina and Luma get more infinites that work on a lot more people, because I'm a complete scumbag.
They actually have an infinite already on Captain and Sheik.
I've seen that, and all I can think is, unless everybody plays Sheik and Falcon, it's probably not going to happen.
The Sheik's apparently really strong, though, right? So
Sheik is currently, people believe that the best two characters are Rosalina and Sheik.
I've got to contest. You know, I can see like how they can see that from an early game mindset, because it's the same as what it was with Melee. Like, Sheik was the easiest character to pick up and play competitively, therefore she was the best in the game. And then people were like, oh wait, Shine can be jump cancelled and can just combo into everything. And then people were like, okay, maybe Sheik isn't the best. And
see, I think you've got to go a little bit more in detail on that. It's not Sheik is the easiest one to play competitively. It's Sheik is the easiest one to play aggressively.
Yeah, exactly, true.
That is going to take her so far. She is very fast and still reasonably strong. She has a new kill move in up air. It's not quite as OP as her forward air was in Melee. It's still a very solid kill move, and because of that, I don't see her dropping below high tier at any point.
No, she will definitely still remain high tier. Rosalina and Luma, I've got to remain, is a bit questionable. Like,
they have a lot of stuff. See, the thing with them is Rosalina can cancel her moves. Like she can do, like, you know, if you try and do a Dacus with her,
yeah,
she can do an up smash. Luma will do a dash attack. Luma can't cancel her moves, which means you can grab people off the floor because you can do a dash attack cancelled grab, like a boost grab, yeah?
I'm aware of seeing that on Smashboard's action, and I was like, I want to try this. It works, and it's great.
Yes, you can pick people up off the floor because the dash attack hits them off the floor, and then you grab them. It's dumb as hell. I actually discovered that. Thank you very much.
So you've got OTG grabs.
Essentially, she has so much potential. Everyone can see it, and everyone's already putting her at the top of the tier list.
Oh yes.
Regardless, that's pretty much me done with my essay. TLDR, it's a good competitive game. Anyone saying otherwise is a bad player, or anyone who's saying this early is a bad player.
Can I just
later? Gone.
I was just going to say, like, from the perspective of someone who has been into fighting games longer than he's been a Smash player, basically, it's so early. That's the. I mean, anyone can say that, but like, what I want to say is that this game has been out. What? It's been out a month, something like that.
Yes, just under a month.
It's so early to determine. I mean, the thing is that because this has a lot of similarity to other Smash games. I mean, people can get a rough idea of what's going on, but it's going to take ages for everyone to like with every other Smash game and every other competitive fighting game. It's going to take ages for people to work the game out. If the game's deep enough, which you're saying it is deep enough, then it's going to take a long time for the meta to develop. And for people to work out what are their best options, what are the game-changing mechanics, who are the strongest characters, or which characters have the most potential in the long run. And so, at the beginning, okay, I can see people have worked out. Yeah, you can do nice combos, which you can do this ridiculous stuff with Rosalina that people have seen already. But there could be like crazy stuff with any other character, like round the corner.
Yeah, exactly. Even now, where we don't know frame perfect stuff yet. We are literally working off guesses at the moment. We still have kill combos for characters. Rob has down throw up air, which kills at like 120.
Yeah, wow. I've seen Rob's kill combos, and they're kind of ridiculous.
I mean, he's not particularly good. That's the thing. Like, I played him, and I used him at a tournament. At my tournament, Blast Zone 6, and frankly, he was underwhelming. He felt very similar to how he was in Brawl. I couldn't see him being that great. I might be proved wrong because it's this early on in the game.
And fundamentally, people haven't been given the control options they need, as you were saying. Exactly.
I mean, we need a C-stick. With an extra shoulder button as well, we're going to be able to do so much more.
Yeah, with GC controllers, this game will see some competitive action more so, and people will be able to, they'll be, if there's tech skill involved, fantastic, which there clearly is, and the game will develop. I mean, if you look at sort of I don't want to say day one, but year one Melee compared to Melee now, or year one. Even year one like Brawl compared to Brawl now, I'm sure, or this game, month one to how it looks in a year's time, we can hopefully assume that it will have a span of a good while yet. Then the meta will look completely different. The game will look completely different.
Agreed. And this is going to be my last point on this before I let you guys finally get off this topic. This game has something over every other game, which is custom moves. Now everyone is of the agreement that equipment itself is dumb as hell.
Oh, yeah. Completely.
Equipment is stupid and will probably never be used competitively beyond fun tournaments.
Thank God.
But custom moves, and I've gone through every single custom move, they are so balanced.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of the videos that Ninja Link, especially, shouts to Ninja Link, who went through his entire game making videos of all of the custom moves, and some of them would be like, oh, why don't they just have this instead of this as their regular move? And it's like, because, I don't know. And I think that's great that all of them have that sort of option that they can go to. It's just a problem of getting them.
Yeah, I mean, getting hold of them, which is why at my tournament, on week one, didn't allow them, because trying to get hold of them is hard. They are very difficult to get in the 3DS version. I'm hoping they're easier to get on the Wii U version.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think that they are going to be they're going to be tournament legal. If there is a way of getting it so you can you can take the custom loadout from your 3DS and load it onto the Wii U for your tournament game. If they do that, we're going to be able to play them competitively, and that will introduce a whole new level of competitiveness, because it's similar to assists in Marvel or picking your Ultra in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Or even because there will be a guarantee there'll be 2 or 3 loadouts which are going to be the most favoured.
And what I was even thinking about with the recent update that Nintendo put out with the recent Direct, what they said was that amiibos are going to be able to hold specials or equipment or whatever it is, the custom moves. But what I was thinking was I don't know whether that's going to help with them, maybe transfer them, but I don't know what Nintendo are going on with, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there either, but if they do something like that, then we're all sorted. They'll be used. And the thing is, people can gear them to how they want to play. Very rarely do they encourage defensive play. It's been obvious that they've obviously tried to shift the game away from defensive play, and people can harp on about Duck Hunt Dog all they want.
Love that character. Love him.
In the end of the day, he's actually not a great camper, and all of the characters who were incredible campers have either gone or they've had it completely nerfed.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting mechanic. As you said, it is akin to a lot of other fighting games. Also, I was gonna put in CVS 2 as well with the groove mechanics. Yeah, it's something that's actually, I mean, people have made a fuss about it here and there, but it's something that's fairly sort of regular in terms of just competitive fighting games. Is the idea of having some way of customizing your character to a limited degree, and if they're very balanced, fantastic. I mean, I had a look at some of them as well, actually, and I have to say they look very interesting, and none of them look ridiculous. You know what I mean? They look varied in their actual in their usability from the ones I've seen, but I mean, it will mean that when you play Melee, and I was talking earlier about you have these complete spectrum of how you want to play a character, like Sheik or even like Falco, or just any character. You have a spectrum of how you want to play them. You want to play them go in. You want to play them keep away. You want to just try to control space. You want to play tech chase game. You want to play just a combo game. Whatever you can do within the limits of your character. Now this brings up so many more options, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I mean, just a different custom moveset on a character can turn a character from being a defensive character to a rushdown character.
And not only that, I'm fairly sure it's going to balance the characters as a whole, because in my opinion, Ike is probably one of the worst characters in the game. He disappoints me greatly, and I was very sad when I had to play him for the first time because they nerfed him.
Oh dear.
They nerfed a low-tier character already.
They nerfed it's like going from NTSC melee to PAL melee when they nerfed Zelda. It was like, why would you do this? She was terrible already.
Exactly. And the thing is, I'm making another like radical statement again, but
here we go.
Ike's probably got the worst B moves out of any character in the game.
Wow.
I could see that, actually. I could see that.
I mean, every other character at least has one B move that's usable. For Ike, his defaults are all garbage. His recovery is awful. His counter is shit as hell. His eruption is just... It's not worth mentioning, and you're just...
It's okay, Tom.
But his customs, he has at least one custom in every area which is usable, or at the very least usable, and oftentimes very good. He has a counter which paralyzes like Zero Suit's down smash. I'm sorry, but on a character that strong, that's very good. And it's balanced. It's not like ridiculous where like enjoy your free kill. It has to be a hard read in order to land it.
Yeah.
The counter frames are very small now, but in exchange you get paralysis. He has a recovery which rather than going straight up and then down to your depths, it goes diagonally up, which is still not great, but it's much better. He has two different forms of quick draw. One which clashes with projectiles, so he can clank all the way in with projectiles and literally get in their face right away.
Wow.
And he has a version which is similar to Pits and Dark Pits New Side B in that it armors things and swings. It moves slower, but it armors everything.
Damn.
And then both of his eruptions, he's got an eruption with a huge wind box that is great for edge guarding. And he's got one which has just got a giant flamey hitbox. It's just he's now with customs, he's a much better character.
Basically, everyone's going to have to... When this game, I mean, I'll be honest, when the Wii U version comes out, I'd like to have a go at the Wii U version. I don't know if I'd consider getting the console myself, but I might even if I like what I see enough. And it just... People are going to have to spend some serious time in the lab.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
To get an idea of how their character is actually going to play the way they want it to. And because it does mean there's so much scope for you can crop up, and it's like you can crop up and just show them and show people tough stuff at tournament that they'll never have seen before, which is amazing. It means that it means there will be depth to the game for a long time because it'll take a while to solve, and that's great. That's really great in any fighting game. And
with a final segue from characters and versions in the way they play, let's have a quick chat quickly about PM 3.5. Now, gentlemen, as a melee player who tried to play PM for a while before realizing when he was a Jigglypuff main, oh wait, Jigglypuff isn't great in this game. Oh wait, Ice Climbers can't do anything in this game.
Yeah, you ain't got wobbly in that, man.
Ah, man. I entered the last PM tournament I entered, which was, I think, our regionals monthly tournament, our 7th regional monthly tournament. I entered PM as I Miss Wobbling. And
love it.
And yeah, because it's true. Because and as just an Ice Climbers player, I've got to say, I've realised what it is. And, it's because that they're not the same as Melee, and I've got to realise that they're controlled differerly. But anyway, 3.5, I've only looked at a couple of them, they're nerfing tethers, which I think is good, except for Olimar, because if you nerf Olimar's tether, then what has he really got?
He's got his little double jump, innit? He's got his...
Recovery is awful as hell.
His recovery, which is ironic, because in a game where recovery is so prominent for every character, which they're nerfing now, which I think is good, because, it allows characters to return to what they used to be, like Sheik and Jigglypuff being good at gimping people, I think that's great. But what do you guys think of it? Because I've only had a look at a couple of the blog posts from the PMBR, but if you guys would like to go in, then go for it.
Yeah. Do you want to go first, man?
Yeah, sure. I mean... just on a general note, yeah, I really do like the fact that because I've never played characters with ridiculous recoveries and with I do like the fact that it's going to be, as a Marth player, or sometimes a Roy player as well, just the idea of being able to get them off stage and actually keep them off stage for a while would be quite nice. And also, I mean, the way this game looks like it's going, I've spoken to Prof about this, I've spoken to Jolteon about this a bit tonight, and they've basically, the idea is that this game is sort of, it's veering towards melee in even more so towards melee, which means that I feel that the ultimate mechanics of it are probably going to be similar to melee with Adakas. That's the that I think is the way this game is progressing at the moment. It might not it might veer the other way, depending on what people like, but it's very nice the way that they're trying to do away with some of the really exploitable mechanics in the game. A big one is ledge stalling. That's something that's getting heavily nerfed by the fact that after 5 or so attempts, so certain like Sheik players or whatever character you are, I mean, Chudat's a good example with his Kirby.
Oh my god!
But if you want to sit at the ledge for a while, you're going to lose your invincibility, and that's a very sensible change, I think, because it means that you can't draw out matches by playing lame. You're going to have to do something else. It doesn't seem right that in a game like this there should be ways of constantly keeping your opponent out and having and basically stalling for time. That shouldn't be what Smash is about. That's not the kind of Smash Bros we want to see, is it? I think they're going in a very positive direction. I'm also quite excited about the 20XX side of things. They're the debug mode.
Yeah, that'll be good for like people who really want to lab up. I know for a fact Sir Aaron, a Lucario main that we have in Newcastle, loves labbing it up in the PC version on Dolphin, but I know for a fact when he gets that debug mode, he will be all over that, looking at Lucario's ins and outs. And
you couldn't get more technical a character, could you? So it's going to be a huge boon to a lot of players on tech skill. I'm looking forward to that as well. So on the whole, yeah, I mean, I'd like to see in terms of the balance of characters, there are a lot of characters I'd like to see some nerfs on. I'd like to see some nerfs on, oh god, I mean like, Mewtwo.
Mewtwo, please god, Mewtwo.
Lucas, Link, Pit, etc. We all know everyone by now knows the characters that we want a little bit of a kick on.
See, what makes me laugh is Meta Knight is probably the most played character in the UK, yet no one seems to think he's broken when he clearly is.
Oh no!
He's never like the named culprits. It's always Mewtwo, Pit, Mario. Mario want nerfed to hell, by the way. Just saying.
Yes, Mario, please God, yes.
Yeah, all of them characters, but Meta Knight never gets named. But he's always he's just at the back of people's mind.
I actually think if I was going to nerf 3 characters in this update, Sonic, Mario, and Meta Knight.
And not Mewtwo. No.
Mewtwo. I mean, the thing is, there are a lot of characters that need some work on.
Give Ice Climbers something, PMBR. I am begging you, please. Just give them wobbling, give them the Brawl Chain Grab, give them something, make it harder to execute. I don't care. Just give them something to make them competitively viable. But the lag that Nana has on her moved back to 6 frames as opposed to like 3 or 4, whatever weird number you made it. Just make it so that I can do some desyncs which are viable in tournament, and that my handoff isn't just flubbing 90% of the time. That's my new Ice Climbers rant over. But yeah, back to nerfs.
Sorry, just quickly with regards to Meta Knight, actually, I'd quite like to put a little plug in for a video on my YouTube channel.
I've seen that. Are you talking about you versus Bap?
It's entitled The Meta Knight Experiment.
Yes, I've seen that. That is brilliant. Oh my god, watch that video.
Yeah, I mean, just to put it, basically, we had this little bet that BAP would agree with me that that Meta Knight is broken. If I've never played Meta Knight, I'd never played Meta Knight at all. So we were like, okay, if Lorenzo, if you can pick up this character and get a couple of stocks off of him when he's playing a serious character like Link, then we'll we'll have a think about how broken this character is. So people have a look at that video. It's certainly not the best Meta Knight play you've ever seen, because it was a minute one Meta Knight, but even so. So yeah, no, I'll move on from that. But yeah, if in terms of Meta Knight, I'm with you on that one. I've been there with how broken he is.
Okay. Right, okay, here we go again. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna run your time over way too far.
Go for
That's
it.
fine.
Anyway, when it comes to the balance changes for Project M, we've not been hearing anything about buffs. It's all been nerfs, which I think is the correct way of going. I think everyone else agrees.
Yeah.
Even though we were only, a year into 3.0, which is,
Yeah.
released around this time last year. We're only a year into 3.0, yet we were getting some ridiculously dumb things coming up. A lot of Emu Killer Whoop Whoop gameplay.
Oh my god. I've just remembered that game. Oh lord. Oh god.
He was having fun.
Getting some things which are generally just getting to the point of broken. Now, I know some people try and make the argument of what happens when everything's broken. Nothing is. That's not true. That's the mantra of Brawl Miners, which if no one's ever played Brawl Miners, I implore you to go and do that because it's hilarious. But it was beginning to get more similar to Brawl Miners than it was actually Melee or Brawl or any other Smash game, which is bad. What they've done is they've gone back to the original statement, and I've talked to Jolteon and Prof and all of that as well, and they've basically told me a few things about what's happening to some characters. I can't disclose that because that's confidential. But
backroom stuff.
Backroom stuff. But I know I'm probably going to change main.
Oh man.
Thankfully.
Nah, I've still got my down B, and I know that's not getting touched. I can disclose that much. So.
Good.
But the thing is, when I spoke to Strongbad many years ago, back during like 2.1. And I had a debate with him about where they were going, what they were doing with the characters, and why they weren't changing Fox and things like that. Because at the time, Fox was still exactly as he was in Melee. He hadn't had any sort of nerfs at all. And what he told me is the characters in the mid tier for Melee usually have a huge flaw which makes them just unviable, and that's not a good thing to have. So therefore, they're aiming for every character in Project M to be between Melee Fox and Melee Falcon. Now, in Project M now, they've buffed Falcon a little bit, and they've nerfed Fox a little bit, as well as a couple of other changes within the game to make him a little bit more fair.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what happened in 3.0 is, although Fox had been nerfed ever so slightly, he still should have been up the top somewhere at the time. And he wasn't even a contender for top tier character. Even at this point in time, people are like, nah, Fox is good, but it's only because people have got the developed metagame on him.
Yeah.
Characters were getting too strong, but the fact that they're fixing a lot of mechanics that were a bit too strong, such as tethers and edge holding and things like that, those things are going to be fixed. And I still think the movement options from Brawl, like reverse aerial rushing and stuff like that, they're going to be kept in. But characters as a whole are going to be made a bit weaker, and their tools are going to be made less like powerful. So you actually have to think and mix things up a lot. And it's going to make everyone a bit more humble, if that makes a sense.
Yeah,
every
that makes
character,
sense. Yeah.
Every character is going to be a bit less ridiculous to play.
You can't just abuse their abusable tactics. You've actually got to think before you use
Exactly.
them.
So I'm good at reading. I can say that much, and I'm good at tech chasing. But I'm sorry, I couldn't do anything else. I would dash dance until someone approached, grab them, down throw, tech chase, down B, done. That was literally my game plan, and I got really far in a very good tournament with that one tactic.
Mm-hmm.
I only lost to people. I lost to 4 people that whole time. I lost to Jelly, who's just an all-round solid player, and Mario destroys Meta Knight anyway. I lost to Bullet Bill, who at that point I'd already qualified for the pro bracket, so I didn't really care anymore. And I'd beaten him earlier on, but whatever.
I remember all that. It was brilliant.
Bill. bullet bill.
HT3 was that was incredible.
I lost to Prof, which no surprise there, and I lost to Jolteon as well. So they're all
two MK dittos there as well.
Yeah, exactly. People who actually know the character. I don't consider myself a good Project M player, and I think as soon as they fix the characters, I'm going to stop placing anywhere for a while until I get used to another character.
That's what Prof's been saying. He's been saying that the Brawl players are going to have some issues when the new patch is released because it's
our fundamentals. I mean, we've still got Brawl is a game that is all about fundamentals in a sense.
Spacing, neutral, you've got to have that, otherwise you just...
In neutral game, there is literally 10% of the time where you're not in neutral game, and that is when you're off stage. The rest of it is all neutral game. So when it comes to neutral game, we're really good, but when it comes to getting out of combos and things like that, we kind of victimized. And we don't really have to deal with that so much in the current iteration of Project M. When we hit 3.5, it's going to be a lot harder for us to adapt to it.
Absolutely. So you guys will get there, though. No question. It just means that the learning curves, it's going to favour the melee players because having a punished game is going to become even more important.
Except for Ice Climbers players, because we don't have a viable punish anymore. Thanks, PMBR.
Well,
double thumbs up for that.
Salty, I see.
I am so salty about that because
I'm just going to give you some advice. Just pick a decent character, mate.
Man, if I okay,
Ice Climbers are not a decent character.
Hey, for a while I was a Meta Knight main. I was a Meta Knight main for a while, and I was like, okay, I really don't like playing this character anymore. I was like, okay, I just whatever.
You didn't learn to harness the down B, that's why.
I didn't know. It's because I was like, okay, just up air chains forever, and then they just wouldn't DI it. So it's like, okay, this seems to be working. I won't adapt to anything.
If you want to up air chain, play Roy.
Yeah, but then I've got to learn shuffles, and that takes actual skill level. Like,
no, it doesn't. It just takes some muscle memory.
I remember when I first started playing Ice Climbers in Melee, actually, and all I knew how to do was wobble. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll just sit and shield and wait to shield grab people. And I remember, like, the night I decided to pick Ice Climbers, I was at a Smash Fest at TFU's house, and I remember him playing his Fox with my Jigglypuff at the time. He decimated me. He four-stopped me twice and was like, you might need to pick a new character and learn some tech. I was like, yeah, probably. So I was like, let me play Ice Climbers for like one game, and Okamide sat down next to me. Shouts to Okamide, because he's in Japan right now. He's like, I'm going to play you with my Luigi, I'm going to body your ass. I was like, alright, go for it. Sat in shield grabbed him, wobbled him, nearly four-stocked him and he rage quit. And I was like, I think I'm going to play this character.
Fair enough.
And but then I got destroyed at a tournament next month, and I was like, alright, I've got to actually, be motivated to learn tech, and I think that's what's going to happen with the Brawl players. Like, I don't think they're going to get destroyed, necessarily. I think they're going to get beaten, but I think that's going to motivate them to actually be like, okay, this is what have I got to do? I've got to learn other stuff. Like, fundamentals are very good, but, if this is how the game is adapting to be, you've got to, adapt yourself and your playstyle to that other stuff.
Mm.
Yeah. See, this is going to sound like a pre-John, but I'm like, I've kind of gone off PM a little bit because the new Smash games come out. I'm concentrating all on that.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
Yeah. Somewhere out there, just as a final note, somewhere out there, AD is rubbing his hands at all this PM stuff.
It's like, yes.
Actually, I remember I never actually got to finish my thing about Madman 3. He nearly beat Alpha Dash at my tournament, right? It was last stock, last game, and Madman choked.
Oh no.
Against Alpha Dash and choked.
Oh man.
What? Rob Donkey Kong?
He was using, I don't know what AD was doing. I don't know if he was sandbagging or anything, but he used Rob in one game, played Samus in another, and was playing Falco in last game.
Oh my god. Well, we've seen what happened when he played BAP.
Oh yeah, we did. I remember that game. I remember watching that on YouTube and being like, "Wow, okay, AD, you're making some odd choices here, son."
I popped off quite a lot after that.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
I think we can just about wrap this up.
Yeah, I think we better wrap this up. It's gone a long time.
It's been a very, very, very long podcast.
It has been a very long podcast. But guys, thank you for sticking with us for the first episode of Off the Battlefield. plugging all our Twitters right now, you can follow me, myself, Skrull, at Wobbling Skrull. Yeah, I decided to pick that name because I thought it was hilarious. You can follow Lorenzo, at Lorenzo the Kind, and Tom, at VWS_GP. Guys, thank you so much for listening in, and we will see you guys on the next episode where we'll have more tournament results, more news, and more ramblings, obviously. This rambled on for quite a while.
Less ramblings, because I'm fairly sure you'll have a different guest.
We will, indeed. Don't know who we're going to have next time, so it'll be a nice surprise. So guys, thank you, and we will see you later.
Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one. Bye.